And what's crack-a-lackin', everybody? Somebody give me a 5 for 5 and we'll get started. By the way, I'm going to explain what that means here in just a few minutes. People get kind of confused a little bit about the 5 for 5. So yeah, anyway guys, they issued a geomagnetic storm watch warning, kind of a idea here. But it's from this filament that I was showing you guys the other day. And this will be a very short show, just so you guys know. I just want to give you guys an update and let you guys get back to your families on the weekend, okay? But anyway, guys, this sunspot here is starting to become active. It did have a couple of different flares. We'll go over that in just a second. Here is the same right here. Watch this. This filament. This is from Stereo A. All right, Earth is over here. So that one blast right there is what's expected to be hitting. Also, I'll just show you this flare right there. That's that same sunspot. Okay? Right about... Yeah, it did. Right there. Sorry, I missed it. And I'm going to give you a brief update on what's going on here in Indiana. It is just frankly catastrophic. And I am not going to dwell on all the negative, okay? I'm going to report to you guys what's going on. I'm right in the mix of all this stuff. So just so you guys know, I'm not going to bring all that stuff to you guys and get you guys... I know I don't like it when I just get bombarded with negativity. It just really sucks. Especially like on a Sunday and just trying to do what we do, right? So I'm going to keep the show kind of short tonight for that very reason. There's not a whole... I mean, you guys know I could talk for hours. But anyway, let me go ahead and run this intro real quick, and I'll get right back to you. Okay, guys, they did issue a storm watch warning. Depending on how... They don't typically use... They will use the word warning if they're like 1,000% sure that it's going to do exactly what they think it's going to do. But they will say the words like watch, and the reason they do that is because they give themselves like a 7-hour window, plus or minus. But you're not going to, it's kind of here when they're expecting it to hit, and it's going to be a glancing blow. Now, they're saying this particular one, I'm not sure exactly when they updated this one. It looks like they haven't updated it here in a few hours. Because that's what they do. They wait. And it, unless it's like grid down type of stuff, they don't need to come out right away. Let's just let them get it right. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to say that. Now, as I push here, good to see you, Papa Bjorn. Just by the way, I seen you in there a second ago. I know you said hi to me. I just wanted to make sure I seen you. But anyway, this is the end little spiral. So what you're going to see, where are we right now? We are, in time, we're actually here. Okay? They haven't updated this thing in over a day. So sometimes these models get, and typically they'll wait till another big event, a big CME, or a couple days later, they'll go ahead and update this end little spiral. It's a 2-day historic, and it forecasts out 5 days. So as I go through this, just keep that in mind. So this is like again, this hasn't been updated for a couple days now. So the accuracy of this particular model might be off a little bit. That's my point. Sorry, I kind of took the long road around to tell you that. But anyway, you can see that's that same CME. And that's sun, that's Earth. This is the side cut. You're looking at the Earth from the side. This is right here is a top-down version. And we're looking at the density on the top. This is velocity down here. Stereo A is this satellite. Earth is over here. Okay? So, keeping that in mind, they actually plot the conditions at Stereo A here too. It's a good thing to do because like if stuff is going in between us and Stereo A, we can really get some good data from that and really get some good, maybe learn a little bit of something extra. So that's what I'll say there. Now, let me go ahead and, all right. So That's the same CME. They don't think it's going to hit us direct. It's going to be a side swipe. Okay, I'll just call it that. But yeah, so let me right up here. We did have a flare a few hours ago. Now notice I wanted to point this out too. Remember yesterday or 2 days ago when I showed you the baseline of the X-ray production, how it was kind of just hanging low. Look what's happening. You can see a gradual increase of the baseline. So what that means is typically we got more sunspots facing Earth that are active, and they're popping little X-rays, popping little flares that are so small we really don't even talk about them, right? But they add to the overall X-ray production, and it brings the baseline up. So notice that the spike here really isn't that much. Matter of fact, this spike here was more, but this got to almost like an M-class flare. So that's my point there. So if we get up here, and then we start having flares, we could be talking about some bigger flares. But also, the geomagnetic activity is what we're going to, the KP here is what we look at for when we're talking about the storm levels and what they can do. This is a G1. That's all they're forecasting, and I actually agree with that. And there's a chance it might not even get that bad. I won't say bad. That was a poor use of that word. It might not even get there, right? It could stay a little shy of it. It could go a little more. Who knows? We should see an increase in aurora, those kinds of things. You might start feeling it in your body a little bit. Some people are very sensitive to these things. Jammer, I'm not sure if he's here or not, but he's very sensitive to it. Very, very sensitive. So I would, keep that in mind. People can see, feel it in their hands. They can feel it, their joints. They can, they feel it. And it is a known, I'm not calling it a phenomenon. It affects us biologically. There is no doubt. There's not a doctor out there who'll tell you any different. Heart doctors actually look at the Schumann resonance, okay, and before they do surgeries and things, because if the Schumann is going off in their area, like if the frequencies are all crazy, people can have heart issues, and it gives them false readings or false positives, or even they could even miss something. So this is something that's very, very real, and it does affect us. There's not too many people that kind of ignore that anymore. Most people will just accept that because it is actually the truth, guys. So, how much you accept, it's up to you, but again, it does. Now, is it going to make you just crawl into bed, not want to get up? A G5 storm could, very well could, make you feel really achy, and other things. Anxiety goes up. I don't like using this word, but unaliving goes up during big, massive events. Okay, it is a data collected, peer-reviewed fact that happens. So it doesn't bother me that people will come on here and say, "Hey, that don't mean nothing." Go look at your statistics anywhere. It doesn't matter where you go. They all show the same thing. Everything I just said happens. So anyway, these are the sunspots currently facing Earth. And as you can see, this one here, I actually talked about this one in my last show. You can see how it's still growing. Now, what has got me a little looking at that one more now is you can see it grow, and you see the little cores here underneath. It's going to be hard to see if you're looking on a phone. I apologize. But you can see them kind of spreading and growing. You see all that movement right there? When that's happening, you got positive and negative starting to intermingle, okay? And that is considered one sunspot grouping, okay? When you get the positive and negative intermingling like that, then what are we talking about here? Well, we're talking about reconnection events back to the sun, which instigates a flare. So that's, I don't want to say any of that. So, yeah. Number 33, thanks for the message. That's right. That's right. Hey, fist one time. What's happening? What's that say? First one time? Good to see you in there. All right. Now, what I do want to do here is 5 for 5. I'm going to address that real quick. I had a comment. Somebody said, "Why do you say that? You know, nobody even knows what you're talking about." Um, well, most people do know what I'm talking about when I say that. Anybody that live streams typically will say, "Hey guys, give me a 5 for 5 before we get going. Hey guys, am I 5 for 5?" You'll actually hear them say that in the middle of their stream if they think there's an audio or video issue. The 5 for 5 is simply saying, "Hey, are we good to go with the audio with the first 5? Are we good to go with the video with the second 5?" That's simply all that means. And it's a lot quicker and faster to say 5 by 5 than to say everything I just said. And that's why we do that. Okay? So I'm sorry, I'm still kind of getting over my I don't even know what I had. It felt like pneumonia, but yeah, you can hear it in my voice. But I am feeling better. I'll just say that. So no negative there. Okay, now this right here, you'll see this blast here. This is on the 14th. Remember, Earth is over here to the left. That's the one they're talking about that could hit us. Notice all these big ones that fired off the back that day. None of that's going to bother us at all unless that sunspot decides to stay together and it rotates through and it starts firing at us on this side. Okay, but yeah. Now this is SDO. You know, the site's back up and running, and it's actually fairly nice. I kind of like it. But this is the 94 angstrom. It's just the wavelength of light in the extreme ultraviolet. Okay. It's from our point of view, and this 94 angstroms looking at a specific gas, and I don't know what that gas is, but we look at different gases because it gives us different visuals. This one tends to show the bright flash of flares really good, so that's why I'm showing it to you. This is that same sunspot grouping I just got through showing you. It's most definitely flaring. Notice how these cores are communicating with each other. That's a long distance there, guys. You could probably get 50 Earths between there and there. That's a big distance. Okay? But I just wanted to briefly show you guys that. Again, I'm not going to sit here and just beat a dead horse on this flood. Okay? It is not something I like to talk about because I don't like to talk about just bad stuff. And that's what this is. This is bad stuff. Okay? I live in this. It's horrible. I know people that lost their house. More than one. Okay? It's catastrophic. The governor, he entered a state of emergency, just so you guys know. I'm not going to click on these articles. You guys can do that. It's just a simple Google search. But I want you guys to concentrate on the highlight, right here. Okay? People are dying. This sucks. Okay? There was a 4-year-old lost his life. There was a 2-year-old that almost did. Drowned in a basement. And who knows what kind of results are going to come from that. I don't know. I don't know the results of that. Depends on how long she was out. I mean, that's a 2-year-old baby. And if that baby right there was out for any length of time, there's a good chance it's going to affect her the rest of her life. She may never remember all of it, but she could still have massive effects depending upon how long her brain was without oxygen. And it's horrible. It's just, oh man, I hate it. And you never, like I said, I'm going to use a cliche here. You don't ever expect this stuff to ever hit you where you're at, right? We sit here and talk about this stuff just off the cuff until it happens to your area or it happens to you. And then you start looking at things just a little bit different. It's almost like losing a loved one that you didn't expect to lose. You know what I mean? And you didn't get to say what you needed to say. Well, this is kind of the same thing. So I highly suggest people go check this stuff out. Look at this stuff. And if they tell you turn around, don't drown, take it serious. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, right? Turn around, don't drown. I get it. I 1000% get it. As a matter of fact, before this happened, I actually used to make fun of that saying, just because I thought it sounded funny. I will never make fun of that again. Not one time. You will never hear me make fun of that again. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of ashamed that I did. I shouldn't have. I just shouldn't have done it. But, you know, we try to keep a good sense of humor. I'm not going to beat myself up over it or anything like that. It's just I will never make fun of that again because I see what's happening right here where I live. And it sucks. I know somebody personally that was on their way to work, had to turn around because they got a phone call saying, hey, we have to evacuate. Barely made it back to her house. Got some of her personal stuff and her kids. And by the time she got out the door, this was a 45-minute span, it was already coming into her house. So she was freaking out. She lost her brother about 1.5 years ago. And she had saved some of his hair. And she forgot to grab it. It's gone. It's gone. That's the kind of stuff that just makes me sick. Because all this materialistic stuff, I don't care about a house when it comes to that. I don't. At all. You know, give me a tent and a boat. I'm happy. Whatever. I don't care. As long as I got my family in the same tent and in the same boat. That's what I care about. And that's just makes me sick when I see some people out here reporting on this stuff. And they use it for more than what it's intended for. And that's why it's part of the reason I'm not going into any of these articles. Okay, you guys can do that and make up your own mind. You guys are very, very smart. So, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys know, you know, if stuff happens, I'm going to report on it, like just the headlines basically, and I'll show you some pictures and stuff. I showed you a bunch of stuff in my last live stream. Go back and look at that. Those are actual, some of that's my own stuff from my own phone. So anyway, you can see all this stuff here, and this actually, at least 6 dead is actually higher now. They're talking about 7, maybe up to 10 so far. It's just going to keep rising. Some of the rivers haven't even peaked yet, guys. It's still raining off and on. It's ridiculous. Hey, Ripper, good to see you, man. That's right, man. For sure, 1000% on that one, man. That is well said. There you go. I'm putting that one on the screen. Let's see if we get that one. Did that make it to the screen or not? Did it make it up there? I don't know if it did or not. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe if it'll go here in a minute if it makes it. Yep, there it went. Okay. All right. Anyway, it's a extension that I use to show you guys, highlight your guys' comments. But thanks for being here, guys. I mean, I appreciate you guys. It's a Sunday. I'm not going to hold you guys here any longer. But just know that this particular filament right here. Boom. See that? That's the one they're talking about. Could give us and hit us. Hey, Ron, good to see you, bud. And it's just going to be what it is, right? Now, remember, all this stuff can cause earthquakes to happen. Volcanic stuff is on the rise. All this stuff is interconnected, okay? They're talking about an El Nino like they haven't seen since like 1877. It's just, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be going on. And so, yeah, if you guys could, please like and share. Get this pushed out for me if you would. There is a hype function now, too. If you guys look, it's right there by your, let's see, where is it at? I forget. It's right there underneath the video. If you come back to it, you get so many hype points, and you can hype videos out after they've been posted, okay? It does help. Please come back and leave me a comment. Well, thank you, Ali. I appreciate you, girl. Man, I really do. I appreciate all you guys. Anybody that's here. Like I said, it's a Sunday. I get it. And it's 7 o'clock at night. So, I mean, it's not on at least Eastern. So, I'm not going to hold you guys here any longer. So, but just know I love all you guys. And I'll be back tomorrow. This should hit tomorrow. Could hit anytime, really. They got like that window of time. So, if that does hit, if it gets anything bigger than what we're expected, I might pop on for a short one. But I will do a regular live stream tomorrow. And, yeah. So, anyway, guys, I will see you tomorrow. God bless. Yahusha saves. And as always, you can drink this Kool-Aid.